Hello everyone and welcome to A History of Splatt in 100 Objects. Today we are talking about item number 12, which is here. Now then, it's not the best picture in the world, obviously, this webcam, but this, you might be able to tell, is a small, empty, well, jar or pot, which has within it a paintbrush, and has obviously down the side some sort of leaked amber-coloured substance. This is in fact a now thoroughly used jar of spirit gum. Basically, spirit gum is a material, for those of you who don't know, that is used as a glue, basically, to attach things to people's faces. So, for example, if you have a false moustache, or a giant pair of eyebrows, or something like that. Oh, actually, when I say giant pair of eyebrows, try not to put them on your actual eyebrows. That's the problem with spirit gum. Anyway, yeah. Basically, it's used to attach things to the face for theatre stuff, or indeed for film stuff. Basically anything of a performance nature. Now, this jar is relatively special. It was the jar that was used for pretty much the entire run of the Murdoch University 2010 children's theatre play, The Phoenix and the Fighting Pandas of Yunnan Province, in which I played Seema the Scholar, who was a friendly moon bear, who was a monk, who was a little bit out of it. Now, the reason I have this is because he had a giant moustache. It was essentially two long strands of like moustache hair that were glued on here, and probably went as far as my fingers do, actually, and you know, it would stick out to about here. And this was the gum that we used, you know, and you know, other characters used it as well. The baddie had a big false goatee that was glued on and things like that. And I suppose this item just sort of represents that play. Really, it was the most fun I've had in a play. I'll be honest, because this was the play that, you know, was the second time I did children's theatre. I'm currently doing it for a third time. It was tremendous fun, you know. I've made a lot of friends there. There was already a lot of people that I knew, but it was a really, really good ensemble. The play went really well. We actually took the play over to Malaysia and did four shows of it over there. We did two in Kuala Lumpur at the Temple of Fine Arts, which I've previously discussed here with item 4, I believe. And also we did two shows in Johor Bahru, or Johor Bahru, as we now call it for in-joke purposes. Anyway, so yes, I was given the spirit gum jar by the makeup girls at the end of the run, though, for one simple reason. When you're backstage in a theatre, often, you know, you'll spend basically on the run 2 weeks of you'll spend a week, sorry, of roughly 2 hours before the first show, and then, you know, several hours in between the morning show and the afternoon show. Basically with the same people in the same space, and your mind can go a little astray. And to keep myself entertained, we developed something called the Spirit Gum Song. Me and a fellow actor, Joel Samuels, anyone else who's interested, we were basically, because we would always be putting on Spirit Gum at the same time, we began to sing the song, which was basically a song that you had to make up. So, for example, you'd have to go, the rhythm went like this. You'd sing spirit gum and then a line to the tune of do 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 do, and then the other person would have to respond immediately with spirit gum do 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 do, and it would have to rhyme. So, for example, it'd be something like spirit gum, it smells really strong, spirit gum, you don't put it on wrong. And you know, often the song was rubbish and crap and didn't really make sense, but that was what was funny, because we'd sing it so cheerfully at about 8 in the morning when everyone else was trying to put on makeup and stuff. Some people got into the spirit of it. Most people just wanted us to shut up. So yes, that's why I ended up with the empty jar once it was done. It's got a lovely globule that's just run down and stopped just before the bottom, which is quite nice. Anyway, that is it for today's History of Splatt in 100 Objects, with item 12, which is of course an empty bottle of spirit gum. Goodbye.